Welcome back mga kasipers! For today's video, let us talk about joint variation. For our objectives, first, translate into variation statement a relation involving joint variation and between two quantities given by a mathematical equation and vice versa. Next, solve problems involving joint variation. Joint variation states that y varies jointly with respect to x and z. In variation equation, we have y is equal to k xz or k is equal to y over xz, where k is the constant. Let's have an example. The area A of a parallelogram varies jointly as the base b and altitude h. So the variation equation of this example is A is equal to K, B, H. So paano ba natin malalaman na ito ay example ng joint variation? It is because of the statement of varies jointly as the base B and altitude H. Example number 2. The force F applied to one object varies jointly as the mass m and the acceleration a. So the variation equation of this statement is F is equal to kma. It is an example of joint variation dahil mayroon tayong two independent variable. Example number 3. The appropriate length S of a rectangular beam varies jointly as its width W and its depth D. So the variation equation of this statement is S is equal to KWD. Now, let's use joint variation in solving problems. Let us study the following examples. Example number 4. Find the equation of variation where A varies jointly as B and C, and A is equal to 36 when B is equal to 3 and C is equal to 4. For the solution, let us get the variation mathematical sentence of this statement. So we have A is equal to K, B, C. Next, to get the value of K, we need to substitute the values of A, B, and C. So we have 36 is equal to K times 3, the value of B, times 4, which is the value of C. Then, we will be having 36 is equal to K times 12, which is the product of 3 and 4. Let us divide both sides by 12. So we'll be having K is equal to 36 over 12 or K is equal to 3. Therefore, the equation of variation is A is equal to 3BC. Example number 5. Z varies jointly as X and Y. If Z is equal to 16, when X is equal to 4 and Y is equal to 6, find the constant variation and the equation of the relation. Z is equal to KXY, which is the variation mathematical sentence. Next, let us substitute the value of Z, X, and Y into the equation. Z is equal to 16 is equal to K times 4, which is the value of X, times 6, which is the value of Y. K is equal to 4 times 6 is equal to 24. Then divide both sides by 24 so that we have 16 over 24. K is equal to 2 over 3, which is the simplest form or the lowest term of 16 over 24. So the equation of variation is Z is equal to 2 over 3 XY. Example number 6. The area of a rectangle varies jointly as the length and the width, and whose A is equal to 72 square centimeter, when I is equal to 12 centimeter, and W is equal to 2 cm. Find the area of the rectangle whose length is 15 cm and whose width is 3 cm. For the solution, let us write first the variation mathematical sentence, which is A is equal to K, L, W. Now let us substitute the value of A, L, and W on the equation. Then we will be having 72 is equal to K times 12 times 2. Then get the product of 12 and 2, which is equal to 24. So 72 is equal to 24K. Divide both sides by 24. Then K is equal to 72 over 24. So 72 divided by 24, the value of our K now is equal to 3. Now, find the area of the rectangle. We are going to use the value of our I, which is 15 cm, and the value of our W, which is equal to 3 cm. Given the variation mathematical sentence of A is equal to KLW, we already have the value of our K, which is 3, and then multiply it to 15 and 3, which is the value of our L and W. So A is equal to 3 times 15 times 3 is equal to 135 square centimeter. Now, translate each statement into a mathematical sentence. Use K as the constant variation. 1. P varies jointly as Q and R. 2. The volume of a cylinder V varies jointly as its height h and the square of the radius r. 3. V varies jointly as L, W, and H. Now, let us see if your answers are correct. For number 1, P varies jointly as Q and R. The answer is P is equal to KQR. Next, for number 2, the volume of a cylinder V varies jointly as its height h and the square of the radius r. The answer is V is equal to KHR squared. And for number 3, V varies jointly as L, W, and H. The answer is V is equal to K, L, W, H. Next, solve the following joint variation problem. In number 1, if F varies jointly as G and H, and F is equal to 200, when G is equal to 5, and H is equal to 4, find F when G is equal to 3 and H is equal to 6. For number 2, if C varies jointly as A and B, if C is equal to 45, when A is equal to 15 and B is equal to 3, find C when A is equal to 21 and B is equal to 8. Okay, now let us see if your answers are correct. For number 1, if F varies jointly as G and H and F is equal to 200 and G is equal to 5 and H is equal to 4, let us find F when G is equal to 3 and H is equal to 6. Okay, so you just follow those steps na ginamit natin kanina to solve this kind of problem. For the solution, let us write first the variation mathematical sentence, which is F is equal to KGH. Then next, substitute all the given values of our variables. So F is equal to 200 is equal to K times G, which is 5, times H, which is 4. Then let us get the product of 5 and 4, which is 20. 200 is equal to 20K. Divide both sides by 20. Then we will be having k is equal to 200 over 20. Then 200 divided by 20. So the value of our k now is 10. Therefore, if we're going to find f, so let us substitute the next given, which is g is equal to 3 and h is equal to 6 to the variation mathematical sentence. So since we already have the value of k, so we'll be having now f is equal to 10 times 3 times 6, which is f is equal to 180. For number 2, if c varies jointly as a and b, then if c is equal to 45 when a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 3, let us find the value of c when a is equal to 21 and b is equal to 8. So for the solution, let us have c is equal to k, a, b. Let us substitute the value of c, a, and b into the equation. Then we have 45 is equal to k times 15 times 3. So the product of 15 and 3 is 45. Divide both sides by 45. So we have k is equal to 45 over 45, and the value of our k now is 1. Now to find c, let us use a is equal to 21 and b is equal to 8 and substitute it to the variation mathematical sentence. So since we already have the value of k, which is 1, then we have c is equal to 1 times 21 times 8, which is c is equal to 168. Now challenge yourself. Solve this problem. A varies jointly with L and W, and A is equal to 24, L is equal to 3, and W is equal to 2. Find A when L is equal to 12 and W is equal to 7. Write your answer in comment box. Thank you for listening. See you again in our next video.